Plums, so that's again going to be going into a dessert or into the dehydrator. Down here we've got lots and lots of spring onions, again like perfectly good.
And absolutely free. Daniel volunteers at the People's Kitchen. It's an eco-conscious collective in East London. Their aim? To save food that would have been thrown away by shops and markets at the end of a day's trading. Today, Daniel and Chef Tom are preparing to wow 200 diners with a feast made from discarded food.
As a chef, I've seen food being wasted at every restaurant and every event I've ever done, and on a bigger scale at the supermarkets and on an even larger scale at these big markets. So the food that we're taking is not good enough to sell, but too good to throw away. It's kind of in that category, and there's a big gap there that nobody's really doing anything about in the Western world. And it's just sad, really, that nobody has respect for the food. It's just kind of okay to get someone to throw it in the bin when there's people starving, not just in the other countries where this food came from, in this country.
1 in 5 of the UK population live below the poverty line. But there's a dramatic discrepancy. The rest of the population spends an average of just 11% of its budget on food. The UK's Institute of Mechanical Engineers says that that's fueling a tragic throwaway culture, with 4.4 million tonnes of food binned avoidably each year.
In this fridge we've got, it's ridiculous, yeah, loads of raspberries, and you can see these are just perfectly good, maybe 1 or 2 bad ones, but it's really a matter of sorting them, having someone to sort them. So this is happening on a huge scale.
The food that Tom and Dan don't manage to salvage for their kitchen is likely to end up here as landfill. In fact, over £10 billion worth of food is thrown away in the UK each year. That's a colossal amount of waste for such a tiny island. And before fruit and veg even hits the shelves, up to 3/4 of it is discarded by farmers, just for not looking good enough.
At the moment, we pay supermarkets and other food businesses to trash the planet, to grow food and then waste 1/3 of it. We need to make a demand as consumers that they change their behaviour as well. When we go to a supermarket and see that all the carrots are straight and all the apples look the same, we need to say, hold on a sec, why do all those fruits and vegetables look the same? What did that supermarket do with all the wonky ones? And demand that actually they stock fruit and vegetables as they're grown. A huge variety, not uniformity.
Fiercely competitive supermarkets don't help by tempting customers with 2-for-1 deals. Consumers are lured into buying excessive quantities of food, up to half of which ends up in the bin.
I spent many years visiting the skips of supermarkets, and literally you open up a skip and what you see is an array of perfectly fresh, good vegetables and fruit and other foods that have been thrown away. And most people think, gosh, how disgusting to get food out of a bin. It's true, it is disgusting. But what's disgusting is that we're throwing away fit for consumption food.
And while every link in the supply chain continues to throw away perfectly good produce, Tom and Dan can keep proving that for now, there really is such a thing as a free lunch. Polly Boyko, RT, East London.